We've all seen the videos out there giving PSG the most overpowered tactic, and I have to admit I am guilty of doing that myself. But that sparked an idea in a live stream that we had the other day when I just lost to PSG in my Red Star save. The idea was, could PSG be relegated? So I delegated this task to the amazing CTXCB, and this is what he's come up with. So guys, this is the start of a regular save with PSG. Now, they have all the money in the world. If you go over to the finances tab, £220 million in their bank balance. So things are a little bit interesting. Obviously, they go into these 4 competitions. They've already won one of them, which I cannot believe. We will go over that in a second. But we are about to start the league season. Now, the board expectation is obviously to win the league. They also want us to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, and they also want us to win the Coupe de France. Now, that is pretty self-explanatory. That is what you would expect out of any PSG save. Now, they also didn't care about the Trophée de Champion, which they won. Now, I don't understand how that's happened, because what CT has done here is he has put in this tactic, which is ludicrous. He's also titled it Read the Note, Steve, which, yes, I will do in a second, because he told me that he used the notes section on this for some reason, so we will check that one out. So this is the tactic that we're going to run to try and relegate Paris Saint-Germain. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. This is probably impossible. Steve, you're going to get sacked. We're a step ahead of you. We've gone onto the home screen. We've gone onto the profile. As you can see, Mr. Manager is in here as well. We are going to go onto the pencil here, and we've already ticked become unsackable. So we will be here for the long haul. We are playing a park the bus tactical style. As you can see with this tactic, two defenders, obviously inverted wing backs as well. So they're all going to get in everybody's way. No actual centre backs, which is quite nice. 2 inverted wing backs on defensive duty again, much the same. These 3 on the right and the left hand side are all going to get in each other's way. We've got 2 segundo volantes, a box-to-box midfielder, 2 defensive wingers, and a trequartista. Now, this is before Kylian Mbappe had signed his new contract and all of the editor updates and stuff that are available, so he is set to leave the club as well. We are about to start the season, but this is why I needed to touch on pre-season and stuff like that. Obviously, you can see here, we've lost an abundance of games already. Paris FC, Amiens, we've lost to all of these teams here. Lost to Dortmund, lost to Chelsea, drew 2-2 with Tottenham.
What do we think of Tottenham?
Playing this tactic, which I just... How, Tottenham? How? I just don't get it. Then we go through into the Trophée de Champion and we win on penalties 1-1. So we get the job done on penalties somehow. I don't think this will save our job, which obviously we can't be sacked from, but I'm intrigued to see how things go at the end of the season. Now, they do say Liga is a little bit of a farmers league. So can the biggest team in the division get relegated? That is the question we're going to ask today. Now, there has been... Yes, here is the note that CT has left me, and looking at it, it looks like it's in Serbian, so I can only assume it's a little bit of a dig about us going out to PSG in the Red Star save. So we will copy that, we will open Google Translate, and we'll listen to this together. So I've popped my headphones on, we are over to Google Translate to see what CT has said to us. Let's get this text-to-speak to have a go and see what it says.
Steve potpisuje kvalitetne Srbe za Crvenu zvezdu, sa ulice, jeftino, brzo I lako, ali ne može da ih motiviše da pobede Parižane iako su strašni farmeri. Ova taktika pokazuje da ako bi pokušali da parkiraju autobus kroz napade, u
I'm going to stop it there. It obviously was in Serbian. This is what CT wanted you guys to hear.
Steve signs quality Serbs for the Red Star. From the street, cheap, fast and easy, but he can't motivate him to beat the Parisians.
True.
Even though they are terrible farmers.
True.
This tactic shows that if they tried to park the bus through attacks, in the French Ligue 1, PSG would collapse and burn faster than Burnley in the years after Sean Deitch. Obviously there is no Serbian version of his last name. You can thank Google for choosing something questioningly similar. Parts of this text may or may not be a big ad for Red Star's live streams,
which you can catch on YouTube twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thank you very much, CT. Let's simulate this season. Obviously, we are completely unsackable as the PSG manager. Let's simulate the season and see what madness ensues. Can we get them relegated? So we've played all of the games throughout the course of the season, and have we been able to relegate Paris Saint-Germain? Well, this is the current table. Marseille have won the division, AS Monaco are in second, Olympique Lyonnais are in third, and Nice are in fourth, with Bordeaux rounding off the places in the European spots. And notice there's no PSG, they're not around here. I wonder what could have happened. Well, you would be surprised to see them in the relegation playoff. They didn't even get relegated straight away. They only won 2 games throughout the course of the season. They beat Bordeaux and they beat Lorient at home, and they got 29 draws. Just by drawing, they've managed to get themselves into that relegation playoff, where obviously, if you didn't know how it works in France, obviously there's a team that's trying to come up and another team that's trying to come down. They play each other in that relegation playoff. So they were taking on this team here. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 is how I'm going to say this name. Sorry, French fans. I know I've butchered it. I know for a fact that this is a team that Space is doing a save with, or has done a space with, and they've beaten PSG, which is great. If we go and take a look at things, they've won 4-3 in the game. I just want to see some of these goals, because I think I'm honestly baffled as to how this tactic is going to work. The game's just loading up the goals now, but I'm just so intrigued to see how this team scores goals, and it did take the lead. So here is Nuno Mendes into the opposition penalty area, cuts it back to Neymar, who is a defensive winger in this instance, by the way. Across comes the ball, and Leo Messi scores a header for PSG. Now, in terms of defensive acumen, it's got a lot of draws, this, despite not having any centre-backs at all. And obviously they've exploited that space there. Ball into Joseph, who slots home, which is kind of what you would expect. Now, they have a clearance here. Oh, they've just... yeah. Okay, so it's obviously a PSG set piece, and CT has decided everyone's going to go up for it, which is brilliant, and Joseph scores to make it 2-1 to the opposition. But PSG were not to be denied. Bernat is running down this left-hand side here, cuts it back to the defensive winger of Neymar Jr., and Kylian Mbappe this time is here on hand to head home the second goal. So we're 2-2 at the moment. Obviously there's some defensive frailties in this, but I'm enjoying how things are going. Joseph's in, he's in for his hat-trick, and he scores another one, absolutely plums it past the keeper to put the team in front again, and they extend the lead here. I think it's Juan Bernat who scores the OG. Look at that space over the top. They've just hit the ball into that space, and that is an awful goal from Bernat to put PSG 4-2 down. They do get a consolation goal towards the end of the game. Di Maria's here, into Diallo into the penalty area. The cross comes over, and Ander Herrera's still there on hand to slot home. But it doesn't stop Paris Saint-Germain being relegated out of the French top flight. Now we'll take a look at the schedule. Obviously some of the other stuff has happened as well. Obviously Champions League Group G didn't go well for them. Played 6, lost 6 in a group with Wolfsburg, Sporting and Shakhtar as well. So obviously you can see the disparity in some of these teams with PSG squad, but we managed to score 3 goals and concede 15, and obviously finish bottom of the group. In terms of some of the other things, though, I will touch on in a minute. Look at all these draws in the French league, and then obviously they get all the way to the end of the season, and I don't know. Monaco really need to have a look at themselves, because PSG, despite being relegated, despite being knocked out of the group stage of the Champions League, win the Coupe de France, which is absolutely baffling to me. Now, if we go and take a look at some of the finances and stuff like that, they do have 41 million in their bank balance. How has that happened? But we do have, going into Ligue 2 for the next season, 230 million to spend to bring people into the French League 2. If we go into the dynamics, obviously the club atmosphere is absolutely horrendous. Everybody wants to leave. We've got 14 players that are unhappy. The team cohesion is actually good, and the managerial support is average considering we've been relegated. Now, I know we can't get sacked, but this is ridiculous. Wijnaldum, Neymar, Marquinhos, Donnarumma wants to start more games, so obviously we've had Keylor Navas pinned in that position. Danilo Pereira wants to leave, and the Herrera wants to leave, Icardi wants to leave, Bernat, Hakimi, Idrissa Gueye, Diallo, Kylian Mbappe wants to leave, Kimpembe, Thilo Carrere, Draxler, they all want to leave the club because they've been relegated. And if we go into the club vision, oh, that's why, because they're building a brand new stadium. So CT has really tried to ruin this club. So they've been relegated out of Ligue 1. They've won the Coupe de France somehow. They've won the Trophée des Champions. Again, I have no idea how. And they are being built a brand new stadium as they start life in the French second tier. So I know this is only a little bit of a fun one. We've had a little play around. We wanted to see what would happen if we could get PSG relegated, even with the riches and that squad that they do have. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video down below. Subscribe if you are new around here. And if you want to check out some more content, take a look at this playlist, which will have some good stuff on there, which you might enjoy.